You have the floor.
Hello, everyone.
Mike.
Hello. So our project today, sorry we couldn't come up with a more interactive name than Bill Seeker, but our project is designed to help you find current congressional bills and then take action. We thought we wanted to add a component because it wasn't just enough to pull up information on what Congress is doing, but also give you a resource for how to get involved. So you can also search for local organizations that help you get involved and find ways to engage in your community based on the topics that we've defined up here. So that's kind of a high-level overview of what we did, and then I will turn it over to Anita for a demo.
Great. Hello, everybody. My name is Anita. Great. So sorry if I'm blocking the screen. So when you first come into the website, you have sort of a list of categories that you can search on. It is not a free-form search. And once you click on one of these categories, you will get a list back of any sort of relevant, current relevant bills for that category. And then you can click on what state you happen to be in. So for us, it would be California. And what it will do is it'll come up with some organizations that you can get involved in. It's a little funky, this organizations thing. We had some issues with the API, so this is just what it looks like right now. And then you can also add things to your library by clicking on this button. But if you're not logged in, it will give you an error. So let's go ahead and sign in. You can sign in using either your email address by creating an account, or you can sign in with Google. I'm going to sign in with Google. And then once you sign in, it takes a second to actually sign you in. You'll see a new tab pop up over here called My Tracked Bills. And that'll have sort of a repository of everything that you have expressed interest in by clicking on one of these buttons. So if I click on this button, this is the SNAP Standard Medical Expense Deduction Act of 2017. Sorry.
Oh, that one.
You'll see that that is now here. You can also modify your library by clicking here if you are no longer interested in SNAP benefits. You can remove it from your library. And then down here, we also, this was just kind of like a fun thing we added called Hot Topics. And basically, this just gives you a pie chart of the top 5 most clicked categories. So you can sort of see what other people are interested in. It looks like healthcare is at the top right now, followed by finance and education. Yeah, that's the demo. That's what we do.
Right on. Does anybody clap for them? Yes. And then, does anybody have any questions for them? Like, how did you do that, or why did you do that? What is SNAP?
Technologies used.
What technologies
What
do you
What
use?
technology is used as part of it?
Yeah, so I'll just run through what I did, and then they can go ahead. So I used, for the sign-in feature, I used the Firebase Auth API, which basically just, it handles the sign-in feature, and then just allows you to have access to certain parts of that user's profile. So, for example, like here, it says, hello, Anita Revueltas. It gives you back like your name. So it makes it easy. You also don't have to worry about keeping passwords or any sort of sensitive information. The other thing that I used was just the Firebase database to be able to store people's libraries, as well as the hot topics, the trending data is also stored using Firebase. Hot Topics is also using an API called chart.js that essentially is just a simple way of creating charts and dynamically updating them. Yep.
Hey everyone, I'm Mark, and I was working on the bill search functionality, and there's also a contactor representative in Congress. So you can put in your address. When you press submit, it should return the pictures of your 2 senators and then your representative. Then you can also contact them. It has their phone number, and then it also has their website. So what I use for the bill search functionality is the ProPublica Congress API. It returns, for the specific ones that I use, the API returns the 5 bills that's mostly related to that topic that you selected. For the search of representative, I use the Google Civic API, and that one is you just actually have to put in your address, and then it would return your representative.
Hi guys, I'm Lee, and I was in charge of doing the organization section. So when you select a topic and select a state, it's supposed to pull down. When you select a topic and a state, it's going to generate volunteer opportunities so that you can get involved in the issues that you are concerned with. So I ran into quite a bit of issues doing this one. Initially, our plan was to use the ProPublica nonprofit organization API. And I ran into like an authorization issue there that would have basically required us to deploy the site in order to test whether it was working, and that wasn't really something that was realistic given the scope of our project and the time frame and everything. So I moved on to, I had to try to find another one that would fit our needs. So I tried doing global giving, and then I wound up having to convert the XML results into JSON, and that didn't really work out because their API wasn't really what we were looking for as well. So I finally landed on a third one, which was like basically made Google Custom Search work for us. So I used the Google Custom Search API, and I set up Google Custom Search to search volunteermatch.org and retrieve hits from there. The problem with that is that Google Custom Search isn't really designed for using it through an AJAX request. It's designed to be used like as its own application within your HTML, and it'll pull up and format results that way. So that's why you're seeing a lot of these formatting issues here. It kind of inserts characters like randomly in different spots, and if I had, I guess that would go into like technical limitations and things that we would have done to improve had we had more time. I would have, gone through every single, I would have had to go through quite a few of the results that we could have gotten in order to figure out how exactly I could parse everything to make it look nicer. But that's why you're seeing, that's why you're seeing the results look like that. So.
What are the future tasks about this website? So what do you want to develop in the next version?
Yeah, I can go into that a little bit. So for the search, ideally, I think what we would like to have is the ability to free search. So like you just type in anything. The way that the API worked, it was just easier to limit people to categories. Another thing that I think would sort of help the user experience is the ability to categorize your library a little bit better. So and then also have like extra metrics about when you added it, any sort of updates that have happened since you last logged into this bill. Yeah. And also, I think we could have probably come up with a better, cooler name.
Yeah, I did primarily all the front end stuff for the website, and I think one thing I would have liked to have added would have been in when you search. Right now, we currently have the Learn More button, which will take you to Congress.gov's website where you can read more extensively. I would have liked to have had a scroll modal pop-up where you could read all of that information, but it was just too time constrictive, I think, to really get that fleshed out.
Any other questions?
All right, one more question. Do we have one more question? No? All right, we'll clap for them.